Hello everyone, good morning. This place that you see here is becoming my favorite place to think about. It is so inspiring to be here in the morning. It is so calm. You have on the one side this calmness over here from coming from the jungle. It's waking up, and on the other side behind you, I will just rotate a little bit. You have the ocean and a beautiful sky, so it is really an outstanding place. I'm not much of a person thinking about such things like energy, but here I have really the feeling that this energy from the river is going into the ocean and how these energies are clashing together. And I want to think actually that this is what is inspiring me. When I'm in places like this, I can really understand how Leonardo da Vinci could be so inspired about water and the way water is flowing, because it is so outstanding just to be here and experience how waves, the lines that waves are having, and the lines of the river, which are completely different, are clashing together, and what is forming in between. Perhaps when I'm still doing this live streams, we will be one day in the Tuscany near Piombino. It's actually the place where we know from the notebooks that Leonardo da Vinci was very fascinated about the water, and really there in Tuscany there's something similar like here. That's two different artistic expressions, you can call this. I know this sounds crazy perhaps a little bit, are clashing together and developing something on their own. And in this moment of clashing together, the transformation that is going on in the lines, in the structure and in the colors are revealing a part of a mystery about water. And it's something that is so fascinating. And here in Thailand, to have the time to experience such things is really outstanding, and I'm enjoying this time here and know what a privilege this is. So I'm not just studying nature for artistic purposes, but I'm really right now working very hard to provide you more value. It is giving me a lot of satisfaction and purpose right now to do my best to help artists out there with what I have learned so far in the 2 decades that I am working in the artistic world. It may be that not all of the ideas are for you, but they can give you hints, and I can point in a direction perhaps. This would be great for many artists already. I wish someone did that when I was trying to get into the next level, because when you are dedicated to your art and you are saying to yourself, okay, now it's time to get to a different level, you need some advice and you need company, because really art and the art world can be a jungle. And this is actually what we will talk about also today, how to get out of this jungle with the help of a fellowship. And for myself, it was really important to develop this fellowship during the times when I was studying art, and after I achieved my diploma in classical painting and graphic, and I don't know what I have all finished. It was important to be surrounded by people that were really encouraging you and that were helping you to get forward. They have been in the same situation or in a better situation, and they form a kind of group, a fellowship that was making the traveling much more better. It was making very often not much easier, because they are still humans, they are perhaps in the same situation, and you are confronted, but you are not confronted alone anymore. Alone, there is someone out there who cares about you. And this is also why I know I'm very bad at this live streams perhaps, but nevertheless for some people they will have the feeling that there's someone out there who cares, and it helped me a lot to know just this, that I can get in contact with people that care. So I'm trying to do the same, and with time I will get better at this. Right now you can just listen to my voice and perhaps liking the nature in Thailand. So to achieve your goals, to get to the next level in your art, to start to produce better art that perhaps one day will develop to a heritage. And when you have the feeling that right now to get to the next level is really a hard process, and you know that as an artist you have so many days in which you can devote yourself to your artistic venture, the more important it becomes in such times of change, where you perhaps fear also the change, to have something that you are falling back on it, because in this it's a great opportunity, because you are not only receiving so much help that I have been talking about, but also you are giving a lot, and by giving you have the time to rethink your own process, your own progress. Right now, talking to you and thinking out loud is not only producing, hopefully, a lot of value for you, or even some spark or some thoughts that you can follow, but also for me, just by helping others, you are rethinking and redefining your own values and your own process, and this is enormous helpful. So one of the best opportunities of building a fellowship is not only the receiving side but also the giving side. By giving away, you have to always package your gifts, and this packaging process, the quality control before you are giving something away, will have an enormous impact on the development of your art. Even if you are not thinking with your fellows about the future of your art, nevertheless, if even it's about painting or drawing, when you have to formulate what you are doing right now in your art, then you are becoming better at this, because to formulate something for someone or give an insight, you have to change your own perspective into something that is a little bit more disconnected from you, and in this way you are getting a better overview. And all the great artists had always a fellowship of artists or other people that were involved in the process of developing a better artistic future, developing a better art, developing themselves as humans to provide better cultural values. One of the most tragic stories, this is not classical art but more modern art, would be Van Gogh. Van Gogh, without the fellowship of his brother, would most likely not survive. So you see that this fellowship is not only about success and really becoming an outstanding artist, but it can be sometimes about survival as an artist. Even when Van Gogh's brother Theo was not an artist on himself, he was an art dealer, just being there for Van Gogh and encouraging him, helping him with money, saved Van Gogh's process and progress. Without Theo, there wouldn't be this outstanding artworks that we can see in the museum. And when you are also looking in the classical art, the paintings that we see and the artists that we see in the Louvre, there's also always a fellowship behind this, because we humans on our own can do only so much, and together we are always stronger. This topic today is actually something that is a little bit hypocritic, because right now I am in a stage of my progress where I don't have such a strong fellowship like I used to have. during my times when I was studying or during my times in Paris, London and so on, I had also always a strong fellowship. And right now I'm in a phase where I'm defining everything for myself and redefining also my fellowship. I'm using different medias to reach out to different people, and in this way, with time, a different fellowship will develop, and this fellowship will help me to achieve more outstanding goals. So often a process of change or the fear of change can be overcome by rethinking this fellowship. Once you have acknowledge that you as an artist can do only so much. I know this is a great myth that artists like me are going to these foreign countries and they are sitting down and doing all these incredible things, producing art, writing books and so on. Yes, this is true. Right now I am doing this. Right now I have a purpose. With a purpose, I isolate myself so I can focus on what I'm doing. But this is only a phase. Out of this phase must come a fellowship with time, and a fellowship that is making what I am producing right now so much stronger. So this myth about the lonely artist, this lonely genius, it is just about a phase. It is something that the artists are later on using for their own mythology and how outstanding they are. But nevertheless, it is just happening in a small context. Otherwise, there is a fellowship necessary. So when you think about the fellowship you have right now, or the fellowship you will develop, it is best to start what is important to you, what is actually helping you to get forward. Some artists, I have a fly here. Some artists are needing different things to go ahead. Some artists are needing this fellowship more in their sector of their career. Some artists are needing this fellowship in the surrounding, personal surroundings, so encouragement, friendship, and so on. It is best to start what you are already having by thinking about the fellowship, because when you think about of your art and your artistic progress as a thing on its own, this thing on its own, your art, needs a kind of home or a kind of belonging. And right now you can already tell which kind of belonging, which kind of home, which kind of connection or of support is already working for you. So right now you can do art better because you are not absolutely isolated with your art. So think about this, what is already the home, the fellowship right now for your art. When you say, I don't have any fellowship, I'm a lonely wolf on my own, ask yourself, is it so? Nevertheless, your art is better because you have an art supplier. So if you want it or not, even if you are on your own, nevertheless, you have a fellowship of, the shop where you get your own artistic supplies in exchange for money, or is it you're becoming the things over Amazon or buying it over internet. Nevertheless, there is a group out there that is supporting you. This connection with this group that is supporting your art is a little bit loose. It has no personal connection. It is someone that is just selling stuff to you, but nevertheless this stuff is an important factor of your artistic development. So there's always a connection of support already. So when you have the time, sit down and write what is making, which fellowship already is making my art possible. Big parts of your network will be more a fellowship in the meaning that is something that is really supporting your art. And when you're getting more precise in terms of a fellowship instead of a network, you will have an idea what a fellowship to develop then. What do I have to look for to develop in time a better fellowship that is supporting even more my artistic development. So starting what you have, focusing and defining what is working for me, what would define a fellowship for me, can be the first step. And it can be something that is purely professional, but nevertheless it has also an element that is more about your personality, about your character, about the things that you are needing as a human being. Parts of your family or a friend or a life partner can be also an important part of your fellowship to get out of this jungle of the artistic world and to develop your art to the next level. So these two parts, the professional fellowship and the personal fellowship, should be clear and in time get combined, because the best outcomes artists had achieved in art history was always to combine the things. There's a connection perhaps to a gallerist that is not only just selling the artist's art, but also is investing in this person or helping this person in a personal way, to stay more with the successful but dramatic artists. Let's think about Pollock with his problems as a person with alcohol and so on. Without the gallerist that he had in New York, we wouldn't know much about Pollock right now. So he found a fellowship, a bond with someone that is actually providing a structure to reach out to the next level. And this can really be a game changer just by thinking about in terms of a fellowship. Because once you have, even if you have invested the 4 years that I'm asking for in this program, because the program which I'm developing right now is about giving yourself the 4 years to develop the next level of your art. You can actually go to the website www.future.louvre.academy and they will see the progress of this project. Perhaps I have even defined what I'm telling you right now even better already, so it is much better help. Nevertheless, thinking about your fellowship, developing this fellowship and bringing in a personal side of it is giving you the structure really to reach out to your next level of art, because in this way you are also becoming clearer what art should provide for you in terms of surrounding, that a more tighter surrounding around you, the home of your art, that will really make your art sustainable. When you are in the artistic world and you have the opportunity to make a art career hype and you are coming into an absolute new surrounding, in this surrounding you don't have a home and your art is not having a home, the problem is it is much more harder to stay in such a surrounding that is just loose and you are not rooted in anything. There is no fellowship, no home, and it is making it so much harder to stay connected in such an environment. So by developing a fellowship for the next stage of your art, even if you are not in the next stage of your art, even if you are not on the next level, will make it possible once you get there to also stay there for a longer time and have the possibility to develop and to grow with in a much sustainable way, because the soil you will find there is much more fertile for your own artistic process. So if you have the time, take the time to think about the needed fellowship to get out of the jungle of art right now, and to give yourself the opportunity that once you get out of the jungle, you get to the next level, you are already accompanied, or you will find there a fellowship that will make you stronger. So you absolutely can focus on your own art, on your own process, and you can really work on your potentials and bring the best out of you. So if you have the time, sit today down and write about the things that if you could wish everything, you would wish for such a fellowship. And just by writing this, you are setting your mindset on finding this, and it is so much easier in this way when the opportunity in life is opening, not to miss it. I already have missed many opportunities of outstanding people that came in my life, but I was not prepared. I not have been thought this through, that these people would be so good for my art. I was focusing on other things about these personalities, and in this way I missed a lot. So learn from my mistakes and give yourself the time and the opportunity to think about your fellowship. If my ideas today were a little bit juggled, like I was saying, right now I am developing all of these ideas. If you go to the website www.future.louvre.academy, most likely you will find already a little more the essence of these ideas that will provide you much more help than just me talking to you right now, because right now I'm thinking out loud about what I'm writing. Nevertheless, I hope you like this contribution of mine, and I hope to see you in the next video. And now enjoy a little bit more of this fantastic scenery. This river is outstanding. I will just go over there where the river is meeting the ocean and just have a good look on the artistic clash of lines and structure. It is so inspiring, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.